Aha, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. In today's scene, well, something just hit the fan. We're not sure what, but shit just went sideways. And as a result, Maeve, who has been wandering about the Umbra, probably attending to a shrine or trying to learn a bit more about the whole process, is going to come running pell-mell through the Umbra back towards the Cub Cabins. A howl has just gone out by Teeth of Titanium, calling out the Den Father for his lack of teaching. And well, that's enough to get any one of the Cubs, who have probably grown rather fond of their current Dev Father, running. So Maeve's gonna pelt back and probably tumble quickly out of the Umbra once she gets there to search around for Lucas.
Lucas is probably in the boys' cabin going, "No!"
Just that dramatically.
Yes.
Maeve will do a quick look around to see if anyone else is reacting to something.
Talia will have been outside the boys' cabin and seen Lucas rush in because there'd been a big ruckus in the boys' cabin before, and she'd seen the source of the destruction flee.
So
Lucas,
it's time to run up and see what's going on. Bust in the door.
you go ahead and fly into the door, and in front of you, it's much as Dan went ahead and described. Albert's side of the room has kind of totally been utterly destroyed. Sheets has been ripped up, drawers are now in a disarray, and Lucas is on the ground, cradling what seems to be the remains of a unicorn plushie.
Is there like at least one beanbag worth of styrofoam little beads all over the floor?
Absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god.
Why?
Well,
Why
it
did
turns
he
out,
do that?
well, it
Why?
turns
Fluff and puff everywhere.
What happened?
I think it looks like the other little ragabah that got slightly angry.
Oh. God damn it. God damn it. Everybody just goes ahead and stands up, gently puts the plushie on the ruined sheets of the bunk, turn around. You know, today started off really, really good. I was minding my own business. I was at the basketball courts, shooting some b-ball, trying to make sure I have my three-pointer, perfect. And, well, I find one of my brothers of Gaia, just wandering around, not really paying any mind. And I went ahead and came to my brother and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I haven't been sleeping much lately, and I feel like I want to make some terrible, terrible decisions, not only for me, but for everybody else." So I'm going, well, if you're going to make terrible, terrible decisions, why don't you do it with some coffee? And we go ahead and walk on over to the Red Bones, and my dear brother of Gaia is talking about how he doesn't have much sleep lately, and I imagine he will not have much sleep ever at all after this one. And who do we encounter there? But Miss Cinnamon Harris. Miss Cinnamon Harris, who is working on her article, her damnness to make sure that the Sept at least has some sway within the media so that we can try to push back some of this really, really bad influence actions that have been pushed upon us, namely the police, and the mayor, who seems to be utterly designed to, I don't know, have her eyes on us. Don't know, don't care, because here's the real fucking kicker. So, the ragabashes, the cub ragabashes, we're all arm in arm, do. One of us decides that he's going to make a terrible decision today, but he doesn't know exactly how he's going to make that terrible decision. And lo and behold, he sees one of the most perfect opportunities. We come across our dear warder, Teeth of Titanium Raya. Oh, there he is, feeding the pigeon as he is wont to do.
Oh, sweet
Delightful
guy.
fellow like that. Delightful fellow like that.
by the way, while he's talking, is going to be sweeping and picking up, and though the mention of teeth just forces her to pause and shake her head, and just you can tell that she's now bracing herself visibly for where this is going to go.
At this point, Talia will also mutter under her breath, because conversations with teeth always go so well.
I know. So, imagine myself, Miss Cinnamon Harris, and Albert laying on the ground in front of Teeth of Titanium, and, well, as I said, my brother of Gaia decides that this is going to be the perfect opportunity to have a rather particular discussion with Teeth of Titanium, Raya. The beginning part of the conversation goes about as well as you expect any conversations to go. He is our elder. He goes ahead and holds poor Albert by the throat in the scuff of his shirt, no less, because Albert's got a question that cannot be answered by the Den Father, nor Katori, nor anybody else but Teeth. He goes ahead and he gets asked, about the tribes, about the litany, and, well, how the litany goes ahead and relates to what we had to do at the fishery, and from there, it just gets worse and worse. I can tell. Oh boy, if I had any of the gifts of my Galliard brothers at that time, I would have gone ahead and told him that he was asking the exact wrong questions, making the exact wrong accusations, because by the end of the conversation,
did he flat out question the warder's orders? I mean, I know the rest of us haven't necessarily been happy with everything that went down, but did he flat out question the warder's orders?
He did. In that part, he wasn't too bad with. He might have made a misstep here or there. He might have presented his arguments in the wrong way. If it was me personally, would have done it differently. I would have tried to value or make some type of value to, humanity. I would have said something to the phrase of, yes, the worm does use humanity, but we as Gaian creatures can also. They are, well, children of the mother, just as any of us are, and all that other good nonsense. He did not present that argument. No, he said that I will learn from Honorable Garu. He said that. He said, I will take my teachings and my learnings from Honorable Garu. He went ahead and turned his back on the warder.
Double face palm.
To walk away.
Talia's jaw just drops.
Sweet goddess.
Like me, I mean, I know Albert hasn't been around a long time and didn't come into this knowing things, but this, I have no words.
Most people at least have the sense to be scared of teeth.
Yes, that would have been sensible. And,
I mean,
well,
that boy has some balls, but surely his brains had to kick in at some point.
I don't know. In fact, at one point or another, Teeth of Titanium was so intimidating that he became nothing more than a monkey and ran away. Something about Teeth granting Albert a bit of purity. I don't know. It was weird. But
as much as I don't agree with Teeth, and I don't like what I've learned about lupus attitudes, at least I have the sense to keep my mouth shut.
Or at least present the argument in a different way and show some gosh dang respect. Because the last I saw was Teeth pouncing on poor Albert and then drawing his claws across his back. And a very, very long list of orders to him. He can't buy food at all. He's not allowed to buy food at all. He's not allowed to go ahead and take any other form but lupus in the Umbra. And he went ahead and, well, you guys heard the how. Teeth of Titanium, because of Albert's actions, thinks, maybe quite wrongly, that
Why is he playing Olaf?
Olaf was not teaching him.
What about Night Eyes? Why is Olaf always taking the blame? At least he teaches us.
I don't know. But you heard the how. Whatever is happening, it's happening.
She finally just kind of pitches the broom onto the floor.
Unfortunately, Olaf does seem to be the one to take responsibility. He will step up. He will be there. He's the one who's actually teaching. Night Eyes, for all her absence, has got many, many failings. But if maybe Teeth acknowledges the fact that Night Eyes is never there, so if the cubs are being taught anything, they're being taught it by Olaf.
It's not fair. And I know that's not an argument, but it's not fair.
Olaf storms into the boys' cabin. On the left side of his face are 3 nasty claw marks that, for some of you, might recognize what silver does to a Garu's body. It is needless to say, just by eyeballing these scars across his left cheek, or his right cheek, depending on how I depend to write it later, because of the picture, that they are going to be permanent.
Gaia!
So
Where is Albert?
Maeve hits the floor. Like, normally she takes her time and gets down comfortably onto her back, but no, she literally just throws herself onto the ground.
Lucas was going for the medikit in the cabin, but as soon as Olaf goes ahead and barks at orders, he's on the fucking ground, and Lucas says, "We don't know, he stormed out of here, like a bat out of hell."
Meanwhile, for the sake of note, there are pillows torn open. There's at least 1 beanbag's worth of styrofoam balls all over the floor. Drawers have been torn out of the dressers. It's clear, especially from the broom right alongside where Maeve did the flop, that they're kind of cleaning up in the wake of him.
Also, one other small note, there is a unicorn plushie that has been ripped apart.
Albert came through. I was in the other cabin. He seems to have smashed a load of things up, and as soon as I saw him, though, he fled. I don't know where he went.
He is growling at nothing. You get the sense he's not growling at you, but he's just mad. It's very visible. It's not directed at any of you, but maybe just the things he's being told in and of themselves. All right. So, here's how this is going to go from now on, and feel free to spread this to your brothers and sisters. I can't be everywhere. Every time the lot of you are in the Umbra, you will be on 4 legs. Every time. Also, as soon as I can arrange it, the lot of us are riding for Wolfholm. If that takes time, I'm going to start bringing you up on hunting trips up north. We're getting venison, and we're going to do it the right way. It's become readily apparent to me that I've been a little too soft on a lot of things in this sept. Apparently I just went and forgot for a minute that I'm Fenrir. No more of that. Because if I haven't taught you already, silver stings like a motherfucker. And I'm not about to get hit with it again willingly. Teeth of Titanium Raya himself has looked at me and said that the next one of you crosses him will be killed on the spot. I would have thought we'd learned after the last couple times. After watching Katori Raya get half his chest torn off. Not to go poking Teeth of Titanium Raya. Apparently I thought wrong. And his left hand reaches up to the scars. They are partially burnt in a sense because of the silver. But there's also blood. And he looks at his own blood for a minute. Seriously though, Silver even touches you, this is what happens. These scars will be permanent.
Lucas, on the ground in the kitchen, just points to one of the cabinets.
Talio is not on the ground. She's kind of made herself smaller, but she will be heading towards the cabinets that Lucas is pointing at. I don't know
Never
how to
mind
this.
with the bandages, girl. I understand. I won't need them. Now, as I was saying, the point I'm driving at is that you all need to get in a deep kind of touch with your wolf's heart. And you all really need to get a lot more ready to kill. The warder was not pleased when he heard about restraint completing your mission. I know a lot of you are deeply infected with Hamid morals from an old world you're not part of anymore. That's getting driven out. You obey orders. If it has the worm in it, you kill it. It's that simple. Because if you don't, and he smacks his own wound and shows his bloody palm, this is what happens. Your brothers and sisters bleed for you. Babe, you're reverbing.
I know, I was planning to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
So I turned my mic back on. And Maeve will look up. Raya, we never hesitated to kill anything that was tainted.
Maeve, this might not be the best time. She will nod at Olaf because they've had this discussion.
I'm sorry if I am part of the reason that you're in trouble.
No! Lucas goes ahead and stands up. Maeve, you're not the problem. You didn't turn your back on Araya.
Quiet, the both of you.
And he shuts up.
The problem that I encountered talking to my warder is that when it came to protecting the veil, the lot of you hesitated. When it came to no survivors in a building held by the worm, another of which we're going to be assaulting real fucking soon. You hesitated. Gets people killed. Fighting things you can see in front of your face as a worm threat, not an issue I have with you all. Fighting things that hide in human skins and simper, I desperately worry that's how one of you's gonna die. Now, as I said, you know our plans to get you in touch with the wolf's heart. We're gonna get fat on venison this winter. And for our wolfkin, we'll bring back what we don't eat so they can eat better than they have been. It's been a thing that's been bothering me lately anyhow. And you know, 4 legs, Umbra. And I'm going to add a caveat called don't bother teeth of titanium. Even in the best of times, he does not like to be pestered.
No, I think we can safely say that that lesson has been well learned.
Augment your ways of speaking. Respect the stations you speak to. Submission isn't just a state of mind, it's a way of body and word. And you'll best learn it. Before I really have to show you how shit was done in my home sept.
Yes, Raya.
Now, if you excuse me, I have a wayward cub to find before he gets himself in even more trouble. And Orloff storms out of the cabin.
Storm, 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 storm.
He's a big guy. It's very stormy noise.
Mm-hmm. Lucas goes ahead and gives a big sigh of relief. Fuck.
Maeva's gonna slowly work on getting up off the floor, grab the broom, and just go dutifully back to trying to clean up.
Talia will happily help pull her up off of the floor.
God fucking damn it. He's only going to start collecting trash bags and try to collect anything that is salvageable. He just goes ahead and shakes his head. I should have shut his fucking mouth. Should have shut fucking Albert's mouth when I had the fucking chance. No.
It's not your job to shut his mouth. He will have to learn. And I hope he has.
Look around you.
He's frustrated. Well, I know where Olaf is right now. I know exactly where he is. Albert, he's frustrated. He's annoyed. He's acting out. Really badly acting out.
He's acting out badly enough that it's hurting other people.
Oh, I agree. It shouldn't be okay, and we should try and stop him. But you couldn't have. What I meant was you couldn't have stopped him making the mistakes with teeth. And I understand. You've seen me. We've all been there. This isn't the easiest thing to do. But
It's not easy, but you don't put other people in the line of fire. Not when they've been this kind, and not when they've tried so hard for us. Especially not Olaf.
exactly, I understand that we are seen as children again. I've said before I don't like this, but this does mean your actions are not just consequences for yourself.
Exactly.
There are better ways to get answers. I understand being ragabashers. Apparently, you're supposed to question, and you're supposed to. And don't look at me to blindly follow orders, but sometimes I think there might have to be a better time and a better place.
You realize there were 4 people along the line to that order, right? It wasn't like, yeah, Teeth was one of them, but of all the people that he could have questioned.
Exactly my point.
Mm-hmm.
I had considered speaking to Teeth myself at some point soon, but
Don't. Ever.
but I hadn't. But I had enough sense, not that I have lots of it, and managed to rein in my willful exuberance, you might say, enough that I decided that Travis, although I wanted to volunteer myself and the warder would be the most direct path, I had decided that Travis was the better answer. He's training
Travis, yes.
That's how the chain of command goes.
I was planning to ask Travis myself, actually. Hey, Lucas.
Yeah.
Do you think Kachina's crazy enough to teach me the right of making fetishes? I'm going to do something to redeem Olaf. I'm going to do something good enough to make out for Albert.
Katrina, on a want to, may do so on a whim. He's quite taken with you. I do not know if that's very wise, but yeah, I think you would. But what are you going to do? Make a fetish. You're going to make a fetish.
If
Is
a
that what
cup
you're
making a fetish doesn't prove that Olaf's a good teacher,
You
how
want
many other cooks have
to,
done such a thing?
Maeve, you want to go ahead and far, far outperform your own station to go ahead and prove that Olaf Tryggvason is a proper den father, right?
Yep.
That's not the way to do it.
Then how?
I think at this point, I'm not saying your plan is not a terrible one and trying to prove we are good at things and trying to make him proud and show that we can succeed in things is not necessarily a bad plan. I have similar thoughts myself. However, I think right now in the immediate future, whilst rules chafe, I think actually the best thing we can do is to do as we're told and to prove that we're not just running off half-cocked and that he hasn't been able to teach us anything in terms of discipline in this maddening structure, but it's the way to make things work.
Best thing that we can do right now is to keep doing what we've been doing, and we gain rank, we go ahead and glorify and praise fucking Olaf Tryggvason for being the best den father ever. Because once
can
we're
I do,
adults,
though?
they'll have to listen to us, and they will have to listen to our words.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make him that proud on a hunt. I need to find a way.
You will make him whatever training exercises we're currently doing up in the wolves as wolves up north in the woods. That'll make him proud. That'll bring back to his own sensibilities. I mean, you know his history. He grew up in Minnesota. He grew up in the woods. He didn't grow up here in the urban environment. You want to try to ease some of his wounds? We can do it up there. If you want to go ahead and try to prove that he is indeed a good den father, you do it by becoming an adult.
Maeve, Olaf was not looking for you to necessarily be the best on any of these hunts. He made a very strong point to me about everybody's strengths. He recognizes our strengths. He recognizes what our weaknesses in what we are as what our roles we fulfill are. What he wants is to us to be the best wolves that we can and to fit in and to be able to do the best we can for the set. And he recognizes that as you and I have both raised before, that being wolfy, quote unquote, is not come easiest to all of us. So surely just trying to embrace it and trying to do what you can on the hunt will be enough.
I will. She'll finally, and she's, by the way, doing those antsy little things. Like, Maeve isn't taken to pacing, but she does tend to start fidgeting, like she's fiddling with the broom of the handle and looking around and just kind of not quite pacing, but she'll take a couple steps to do something and then briskly go over to pick up something else, and basically everything but pacing.
Lucas is pacing.
Glance over to Lucas.
Oh, Lucas is pacing.
Talia will be pacing as well. As she's getting more and more agitated, it's getting more and more more passionate. It's getting more vigorous.
I should make something, and then I'm probably going to need an Yngling.
Fuck it, let's go hunt an Yngling right now.
Let me see first if I can go make a couple things, so that at least what I'm taking is something I need.
What?
Because I'm nearly full back up after paying my last couple chiminage. Better yet, you know what? I'll go pay proper chiminage to Chimera. I've been meaning to do it anyways. Let's cleanse ourselves, go to the heart. I'm going to offer chiminage, and then an Yngling.
Let's do it.
Maeve, if you would like some, I don't claim to have much of this spiritual essence, but if it would help you, I can give you some of mine.
I would appreciate it. It gives me more to offer to Chimera, because sooner or later I'm going to ask for its help. But to explain, Ynglings are like spirit deer, almost, except that the only reason they live is to die and to feed osmosis. So, if I'm going to go after one, A, we get something to take our anger out on. B, I want to make sure that I have a use for it and I'm not being selfish.
Of course.
First I'm going to go bottom out, feeding Chimera.
I'm going to go ahead and clean up the cabin and meet you back at Chimera's shrine.
Nod.
Noddle. And Lucas goes ahead and picks back up that heavy-duty black trash bag. Goes to pick up the unicorn plushie, who was just an innocent victim in all of this.
Talia will ask him if, would you like me to do that one for you?
Blink. Like what?
Would you like me to help clear up that bit in particular that looked like it was quite painful for you?
No.
Maybe
no.
we'll actually hold out a hand. I'm not very good at sewing, but I can try.
The unicorn plushie gets tossed in your direction, along with a baggie of fluff. Do what you can.
She'll nod and take it, meaning to drop it off before she runs over to the shrine. Is there anything else we'd like to do?
Not really.
All right. Then we will close our scene with Lucas and Talia working together to pick up the cabin, put it back to rights, undo some of the mess that's been made.
Sorry, that was me.
Rage across New York.
Shut
Maeve,
up.
We find Talia, who
Maeve will, sorry. Maeve will be pacing back to her cabin with one of the poor victims of the rampage, small stuffed unicorn, which she'll be bringing into her room, putting on the bed, and leaving there for future work. Maybe she can get a little better with a needle and some thread. And with the other two cleaning up the remains of the mess, Maeve is going to sidestep, shift down, and head towards the Cairn's Heart and the Shrine of Chimera to pay her respects. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time on another episode of What the Fuck Did That Guy Do?